$890 billion. That's the fortune of Kuwait's wealthiest family. It surpasses the GDP of numerous nations. Yet, they're not by themselves. We're revealing the top 14 richest families in Kuwait. And believe me, even the 14th spot boasts astounding wealth. 14. The Behbahani clan, transforming vehicles into wealth. Now, let's delve into the Behbahani family. They're not merely affluent individuals in Kuwait. They are truly the elite of the automotive world. You know how some folks have a passion for collecting cars? The Behbahani family takes it a step further by gathering whole car dealerships. They began on a modest scale, but now they dominate the market with the Behbahani Group. Imagine this. You stroll into a Porsche dealership in Kuwait, anticipating a glimpse of some luxurious vehicles. Surprise! The Behbahani family controls the entire operation, not only Porsche. They also have Volkswagen and Audi secured. It's as if they surveyed the high-end auto industry and declared, "We'll take everything." And here's where it turns out to be even crazier. These folks are not merely focused on selling your ideal vehicle. They also provide you with a cozy spot to rest following your purchase. Yes, you heard correctly. They're involved in the property market as well. We're referring to upscale resorts that likely exceed the price of many residences. Every family enterprise requires a chief, and for the Behbahani clan, that role belongs to a Limerad Behbahani. This guy manages the Behbahani Group as if he's strategizing in a game of Monopoly, and he holds all the prime assets. With him at the helm, they're expanding beyond just automobiles and hospitality. These folks have fully embraced the art of diversification. You might assume that dealing in high-end vehicles would suffice, but the Behbahani family said, "Wait a second, we want more." Thus, they began bringing in exquisite timepieces. After all, what's a new Porsche without a stylish watch to go with it? And should you feel peckish while perusing for that new Audi, have no fear, as they also offer dining options. It feels as if they're determined to dominate every sector that shouts, "I'm loaded." And regarding their wealth, it's not merely millions we're discussing. We're not even scratching the surface of hundreds of millions. We're talking billions, my friend. But here's the twist. That's merely pocket change when you consider the other families we're about to explore. The Behbahanis may seem affluent, yet they're merely the warm-up in this wild spectacle featuring Kuwait's wealthiest. Enter the Al Mutawa family, banking on their fortune. Think the Behbahanis are impressive? Hold on tight, because the Al Mutawa family is ready to dazzle you. These individuals aren't merely handling cash. They're actively creating it. No joke, they have a stake in Bubian Bank, a major player in Kuwait's banking scene. Yet, this merely scratches the surface for these financial whizzes. The Al Mutawas have a rich legacy in this industry, constructing their empire meticulously, piece by piece. Rather than using toy blocks, they're assembling towering buildings and expansive retail complexes. Absolutely, you got it. These financial giants aren't just about banking. They're also tycoons in real estate. They own prime locations throughout Kuwait City, ranging from upscale offices to luxurious flats. If you've strolled through downtown Kuwait, it's likely you've walked on land owned by Al Mutawa. But hold on, it gets even more interesting. These folks aren't satisfied with merely owning banks and structures. Nope, they chose to spice up their investments. The Al Mutawas have also ventured into the food industry, ranging from upscale dining spots to fast food outlets. They're dishing out profits right alongside burgers and fries. Now, that's what you call a varied portfolio. It seems they've embraced the adage, back your words with cash, and truly taken it to heart. You may be pondering, sure, they've got finance, architecture, and fast food. What's the fuss? Allow me to explain. All those financial commitments accumulate into a staggering wealth that could leave you astonished. We're discussing billions, my friends. However, the most astonishing aspect? This is merely the beginning of our roster. The Al Mutawas serve as the warm-up band in a show of riches. But don't anticipate these individuals showcasing their affluence on social media or arriving at nightclubs in ostentatious golden Lamborghinis. No, the Al Mutawas are focused on maintaining a humble existence. They possess a wealth that doesn't rely on ostentation. Their focus lies in discreetly orchestrating financial maneuvers, converting millions into billions while the average person is counting coins for a simple coffee. Moreover, their impact extends well beyond mere wealth accumulation. The Al Mutawas are key figures in Kuwait's economic landscape. Any action they undertake sends ripples throughout the entire nation. It's as if they can sense the rhythm of Kuwait's economic core, and they're experts at ensuring it thrives. But here's the twist. Despite the remarkable influence of the Al Mutawas family, they rank only 14th on our list. Hard to believe, right? In Kuwait, 13 families surpass even these financial titans in wealth. It's as if we're scaling a peak of riches, with only the base camp behind us. 12. The Al Baha clan, monarchs of construction. Did you believe construction was solely about tools and materials? The Al Baha clan will change your perspective. They're not merely erecting homes. They're crafting vast legacies that soar into the heavens. Trust me, their reach is extraordinary. The Al Baha family reigns supreme in Kuwait's building industry. These are the visionaries responsible for the towering skyscrapers that punctuate the skyline of Kuwait City. But it's important to note that they didn't begin at such heights. No, this family constructed their empire from the very foundation, much like the structures they create. Once upon a time, the Al-Baha family was merely another household striving for success. Yet, they recognized a chance within the construction industry, and they seized it with enthusiasm. Currently, they become the top choice for all significant endeavors in Kuwait. Looking to build an extravagant shopping center? Reach out to the Al-Bahas. Seeking a breathtaking luxury hotel? The Al-Bahas will handle it, but don't underestimate their skills beyond mere construction. The Al-Baha family understands that variety is essential. This is why they have invested in numerous ventures as well. They are significant contributors in the oil and gas sector. And let's be real, this is Kuwait we're discussing. Oil reigns supreme in this region. Now this is where things take a fascinating turn. The Al-Bahas aren't satisfied with merely ruling the tangible realm. They're also making their mark in the digital arena. That's right, these titans of construction are investing millions into tech ventures. It's as if they're crafting tomorrow in multiple dimensions. And believe me, all this empire expansion has yielded substantial rewards. The Al-Bahas are valued in the billions. However, for this crew, it's merely another day in the life. They won't settle for past achievements. No way, they're constantly seeking the next big opportunity. That's what distinguishes the Al-Bahas from the rest. They embrace challenges and explore fresh opportunities without hesitation. One moment, they're building a colossal shopping center, and the next they're backing an innovative AI venture. This visionary mindset has ensured their dominance in the industry over the years. Yet, for the Al-Baha family, it's more than just profit. They are actively contributing to the evolution of Kuwait's future. Each structure they create, every venture they back, is driving Kuwait's progress. They're not merely entrepreneurs, they're pioneers. Let's turn our attention to the Al-Shaya family, titans of retail. These individuals are more than wealthy. They're the true monarchs of retail. We're referencing the people who introduced Starbucks to the desert, folks. Indeed, if you're enjoying a Frappuccino in Kuwait, it's the Al-Shayas you have to appreciate. Wait a minute, it's not only Java they offer. This crew is involved in everything from style to snacks. The Al-Shaya group resembles the most amazing shopping center you can imagine, but it's expansive throughout the Middle East. They've got more than 4,000 outlets, and we're not limited to Kuwait here. They've established their presence throughout the Middle East, North Africa, and even parts of Europe. Consider a retail adventure. You may assume they emerged suddenly, but not really. The Al-Shayas have a rich history spanning more than 100 years. They kicked off with a modest store in Kuwait, likely offering items your ancestors would have favored. Yet, they didn't halt their expansion. They continuously evolved and flourished, like a snowball gaining momentum on a slope of cash. You're familiar with those favorite brands, right? H&M, the Cheesecake Factory. Well, it was the Al-Shayas who introduced them to the Middle East. They serve as the key bridge, transforming popular Western trends to resonate in the East. Plus, they excel at it. They don't merely replicate these brands. They adapt them to align with local preferences. It's as if they possess a special flair. Moreover, there's additional news. Their focus extends beyond retail. They're also involved in hospitality and property development. It seems they gazed at their vast fortunes and decided, not quite satisfied, to invest in real estate. Indeed, they did just that. They're not merely providing you with garments and groceries. Chances are they own the very apartment you reside in and the hotel you book during your holidays. You might be curious about the value of these individuals. To put it simply, it's in the billions. For the Al-Shayas, that's merely routine. They likely drop more on their breakfast brew than what many of us earn 12 months. Surprisingly, they're just getting started. The Al-Shayas continue to shape the shopping, dining, and lifestyle landscape of Kuwait. They're introducing global brands to Kuwait a little at a time. It's as if they have a sixth sense for predicting trends before they emerge. 10. The Al Ghanim family, leaders in industry. Let's discuss the Al Ghanim family, as they are truly the cornerstone of Kuwait's industrial landscape. Their wealth goes beyond mere affluence. They are pivotal in sustaining Kuwait's economy. The Al Ghanims command Al Ghanim Industries, which stands out as anything but a typical enterprise. We're discussing one of the largest and most varied enterprises in the entire Middle East. This company is involved in an array of sectors. It's astonishing. Al Ghanim Industries extends its reach beyond Kuwait, operating in 40 different countries. Exactly, 40. They manage over 30 distinct enterprises in their portfolio. Covering everything from engineering to consumer products, they've got all sorted. It's as if they suddenly chose to dominate every sector imaginable. But here's the twist. The Al Ghanims didn't materialize out of thin air. They entered the scene in the 1930s. That's correct. While many were focused on the Great Depression, this group initiated a modest trading firm. Now that's what you call impeccable timing. From that point, their expansion continued without pause. You might assume that a large industrial firm would focus solely on mundane aspects like machinery and manufacturing. But not the Al Ghanims. They embrace a different path. They're passionate about automobiles as well. They operate dealerships featuring some of the most renowned brands in the automotive industry. We're diving into the world of Toyota and Honda. If you're rolling through the streets of Kuwait in a gleaming new vehicle, It's likely that the Alganims played a role in that. But hold on, it gets even wilder. These manufacturing giants also chose to venture into the fast food scene. That's right, you heard correctly. Quick bites. So when you're enjoying a Wendy's burger in Kuwait, remember to give a nod to the Alganims for introducing it. It seems they spotted the golden arches and thought, why not include that in our collection? The Alganim family is all about movement. They're continuously searching for the next major opportunity. It's as if they possess some kind of foresight, constantly pinpointing the next lucrative investment. They're unhesitant in exploring new ventures, be it in an emerging sector or a foreign market. This innovative mindset has transformed their modest trading firm into a vast multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. Speaking of fortunes, that's precisely the position the Alganims find themselves in, a staggering net worth. It's in the billions, no doubt. But for these individuals, that's simply routine. Managing such a vast empire means $1 billion or so is merely small change. 9. The Al-Kharafi family, titans of construction and investment. Okay, it's time to discuss the Al-Kharafi family, who are essentially the titans of Kuwait's corporate sphere. They're not merely affluent. They're transforming the nation on many levels. But here's the twist. Their most astonishing venture isn't in high-rises or petroleum resources. In the 1950s, these individuals began with bricklaying and minor tasks. However, they aspired to something greater than merely constructing homes. Their vision was to create a dynasty. Now, they've evolved into the Al-Kharafis, akin to master strategists in a game of Monopoly, possessing stakes in everything from smartphones to aircraft. Absolutely, you read that correctly. These titans of construction chose to diversify and launch their own airline. Yet, that's not even the wildest aspect. They're also involved in telecommunications, the banking sector, and believe it or not, they have a stake in a Kuwaiti food enterprise. Now that's what you call having it all. When it comes to building, these folks have grand visions. They're focused on colossal ventures that astonish you. Think towering skyscrapers reaching into the sky, bridges connecting vast urban areas, and infrastructure transforming Kuwait's landscape. But they're not limiting themselves to local projects. The Al-Kharafis are expanding their reach globally, constructing magnificent works across the globe. Now this is where the plot thickens. The Al-Kharafi group isn't merely the product of one individual. It operates as a family enterprise, helmed by brothers Fawzi, Jassim, and Mohanad Al-Kharafi. These siblings resemble a trio of business warriors, each contributing unique expertise and driving the family legacy forward with vigor. And now, let's dive into some figures for a moment. In terms of net worth, the Al-Kharafis operate in an entirely separate realm. We're not discussing millions or even billions. We're referring to tens of billions of dollars. Yet for this group, that's merely a typical day at work. Managing an empire of this scale makes $1 billion seem like mere pocket change. However, don't be fooled. The Al-Kharafis remain grounded despite their immense success. Their eyes are constantly scanning for the next major opportunity, the next market to dominate. Simply amassing wealth isn't enough for them. They aspire to make a lasting impact in Kuwait and across the globe. 8. Meet the Alsi family, Kuwait's automotive royalty. Curious about the faces behind the gleaming vehicles on Kuwait's roads? Strap in as we journey with the Alsi family. The ruling elites of the car industry in Kuwait, they do more than simply peddle cars. They operate an extensive automotive dynasty. The Alsi Group resembles the upscale Walmart of automobiles in Kuwait. As the nation's largest car dealership, they've got the finest selection. Toyota, Lexus, Hino. If it's a vehicle with an engine and wheels, the Alsis are likely the ones offering it for sale. Believe it or not, they weren't always the power players they are today. In the 1950s, they were merely a small dealer with a single brand. Fast forward to now, and they've become the Kardashians of the automotive scene in Kuwait. However, their interests extend beyond just cars. They've expanded into heavy machinery and electronics as well. It seems they noticed all those construction areas and decided, why not offer bulldozers too? Plus, their extensive logistics network is remarkable. They're not merely retailing automobiles. They ensure these vehicles reach their destinations. It's as if they're involved in every sector that relates to automobiles. You may be curious about the actual extent of their wealth. To put it simply, their net worth reaches into the billions. Yes, that's billions with a capital B. For them, purchasing an extravagant vehicle is akin to us grabbing a cup of joe. They're immersed in money like Scrooge McDuck in his vault. Rather than a vault of cash, they possess a garage packed with the priciest vehicles one could fathom. Yet, what truly distinguishes the Alsis is their unwavering commitment to customer service. Every client is treated like royalty, regardless of whether they're purchasing a simple sedan. It's akin to visiting a luxury hotel, but instead of a suite, you drive away with a top-notch car. They've transformed car shopping from a tedious task into an adventure. From cozy family cars to rugged pickups, the Alsis are the backbone of Kuwait's transportation. They function like oil in the machinery of the Kuwaiti economy, ensuring seamless operations. It's remarkable to realize that this all began with a single car dealership. Now they've grown so substantial, they could easily establish their own nation if they chose. Alsi territory, people galore, and countless vehicles. 7. The Bookums clan in the realms of family, oil, and gas moguls. Now, let's dive into the Bookums clan. These individuals are serious players in the oil and gas industry. They're the dominant players in Kuwait's energy sector, and they're involved in a multitude of ventures. Imagine this. The Bookums have been entrenched in the oil industry for ages. They began on a modest scale, but they've grown into key operators. This is a family that owns oil rigs throughout the Middle East. They hold a multitude of contracts, resembling a money-printing operation rather than merely extracting oil. However, let's be clear, these folks aren't solely focused on boring into the earth. No way, they've got a sharper strategy. Their interests extend into petrochemicals as well. This implies they're not only trading oil, they're crafting a variety of products from it. From plastics to chemicals, whatever it is, if it originates from oil, the Bookums probably have a stake in it. Plus, they play a significant role in energy services. So, it's not only about extracting oil themselves, they assist other firms in the process as well. They possess the tools, expertise, and network to facilitate these operations. They serve as the ultimate hub for the oil industry. You'd assume that's plenty for a single family, wouldn't you? Not so fast. The Bookums eyed their vast oil fortune and said, why not invest in real estate as well? So they've expanded into property ownership. We're discussing top-notch real estate throughout Kuwait and farther afield. But they didn't just stop at that. They ventured into the hospitality sector as well. So now, in addition to oil, they're also offering luxurious hotel accommodations. But this is where things get truly exciting. These individuals are constantly on the hunt for the next major breakthrough. Rather than idly counting their riches from oil reserves, they thrive on progress. They're investing heavily in cutting-edge technologies, seeking improved methods for extracting oil or transforming it into valuable products. Now, let's take a moment to consider their financial standing. It's definitely in the billions, no question about it. Yet for the Bookums, that amount feels like mere pocket change. They're competing in an entirely different realm. Their fortune is so immense that it's challenging to fully comprehend. But guess what's wild? Despite their vast wealth from oil, the Bookums continue to work hard. They constantly seek out fresh opportunities and innovative methods to expand their empire. It's as if their passion for oil runs deeper than their very essence. 6. The Alessa family's pharmaceutical wealth. Now, let's discuss the Alessa family. These individuals are not merely wealthy. They're also ensuring that Kuwait thrives and flourishes. The Alessas are the major players in the pharmaceutical industry. They have interests in nearly every aspect of healthcare imaginable. So what exactly sets them apart? They run Yachts Medical Company, essentially the Middle East equivalent of CVS. But it's not limited to just a handful of neighborhood pharmacies. They've established a network of pharmacies, medical supplies, and here's the kicker. They're even producing their own medications. It's truly a comprehensive destination for all your healthcare requirements. The Alessa family didn't appear out of the blue. Their journey in the health industry began in the 1950s. It all kicked off with a modest pharmacy, likely no larger than a small bathroom. Yet they expanded rapidly. Today, they boast hundreds of stores across Kuwait and various Gulf nations. It's akin to a game of Monopoly. Only this time, the properties are pharmacies instead of hotels. What's particularly intriguing is that the Alessas aren't limited to just medications and first aid. They've expanded their offerings to include cosmetics and infant care. So, whether you're in need of a skincare treatment or a fresh diaper, they've got everything you require. It feels as though they're nurturing you from birth to death while raking in substantial profits. And about those profits, let's dive into their financials. Their wealth soars into the billions, yet for them, that amount is mere pocket money. It's akin to the price of a medication. Imagine if that medication were inscribed on gold leaf. The Alessas aren't merely hoarding their fortunes, either. Their focus is on integrating innovative medical technology. We're discussing state-of-the-art tools that seem like they were designed for a futuristic film. From groundbreaking medications to MRI scanners that seem to predict outcomes, they're ahead of the curve. Not only are they enhancing healthcare in Kuwait, but they're also advancing the field of medicine itself. For them, it's more than just profit. The Alessas truly care for health and well-being. They constantly seek fresh opportunities to enhance lives. Now, let's discuss the Al Marzouk clan. This family reigns in Kuwait's real estate world, and they aren't merely engaged in a game. They're living the dream. For generations, the Al Marzouk family has thrived in the real estate sector, crafting their empire piece by piece, and they've certainly accomplished a lot. Their portfolio includes some of the finest properties in Kuwait City. We're referring to opulent apartments that make your own residence seem like a makeshift structure, shopping centers filled with goods way beyond your budget, and complete districts that likely have their own postal codes. However, the reality is they focus on more than just construction and structures. The Al Marzouks are involved in a vast array of ventures. More than a bakery has treats. They've established a significant presence in banking as well. Indeed, they're not just constructing structures, they're funding them as well. That's what you call a strategic play and savvy investments. Their portfolio is busier than you've had meals. They're the complete all-in-one solution. They construct it fund it, and likely possess the land beneath it as well. Now, let's get into figures. The Al Marzouk family boasts a net worth in the billions, but to them, that's mere chump change. Their daily coffee expenditure likely surpasses what an average person earns in a year, and there's no sign of them hitting the brakes. They're constantly searching for the next breakthrough, the latest promising asset, the investment that will revolutionize the market. Yet, what truly distinguishes the Al Marzouks is their exceptional talent for identifying prime locations. These pros could unearth a treasure in the most barren of landscapes. Oh, and guess what? They essentially already have. They possess an uncanny ability to secure the most coveted areas in the city well before others catch on to their worth. It feels as if they possess a magical foresight. From majestic buildings brushing against the heavens to coastal retreats that dwarf the Mediterranean, the Al Marzouks are truly transforming the skyline of Kuwait. Yet, for them, it's more than just wealth accumulation. They are in it for the long haul. With every property constructed and every investment placed, they're contributing to a grander scheme. They aren't merely constructing structures, they're crafting a lasting heritage. They're designing environments where individuals reside, engage, and enjoy. They're influencing the core essence of Kuwait's cityscape. Yet, don't assume for an instant that the Al Marzouks are satisfied with merely leading in Kuwait. No way, these folks are aiming for the international scene. They're wide-ranging their property ventures to various nations, infusing that Kuwaiti essence into urban landscapes worldwide. It's as if they're engaged in a game of strategy, but with real structures rather than mere tokens. 4. The Al Babtin family, giants in technology and telecommunications now. Let's dive into the Al Babtin clan, as they truly embody the technological geniuses of Kuwait. They're not merely toying with the latest devices. They're crafting the very future of the nation. The Al Babtins control a colossal enterprise known as the Al Babtin Group, and it seems they're involved in every tech sector imaginable. We're discussing smartphones, solar energy solutions, and even those cutting-edge smart city initiatives. But here's the kicker. They didn't just enter the tech scene recently. No, these folks have been active in this field since the 1940s. In those days, their focus was solely on radios and televisions. Today, they dominate the telecommunications and electronic scene in Kuwait. It's as if they anticipated the future and took it into their own hands. But wait, there's more. They went beyond mere technology pursuits. These folks are major contenders in the automotive industry as well. Talk about broadening your investment horizons. Huh? You might wonder, so they're involved in technology and automobiles. Why should I care? I'll tell you, it matters a lot when billions of dollars are at stake. Absolutely. The Al Babtins hold a fortune worth billions, but to them, that amount might feel akin to the cost of a brand new iPhone. What's truly astonishing about the Al Babtins is their relentless forward momentum. They refuse to be satisfied merely with their current market supremacy. No way, these folks are focused on the next big thing. They're advancing Kuwait towards the future, one device at a time. Consider 5G technology. While other nations are still grappling with its implementation, the Al Babtins are already launching it throughout Kuwait. Electric vehicles. They're doing more than just marketing them. They're pouring resources into enhancing the technology behind them. Yet, this isn't solely a profit-driven endeavor for them. They're actively leveraging their technological expertise to improve conditions in Kuwait. The smart city initiatives I brought up before focus on leveraging technology to enhance aspects such as traffic management, energy usage, and public amenities. It's as if they're transforming Kuwait into a tangible equivalent of Tony Stark's Stark Tower. Moreover, they have a strong commitment to renewable energy. In a nation renowned for its oil, the Al Babtins are heavily investing in solar energy. It's as if they're strategizing in chess while the rest are merely engaged in checkers. You might be curious about how a single family wields such widespread influence across various fields. The answer lies in their knack for identifying trends ahead of the pack. 3. The Al Falage family, pioneers in shipping and logistics. Okay, let's dive into the Al Falage family. They're essentially the monarchs of the maritime world, but with a unique flair. They don't just sail on luxurious vessels. They orchestrate the entire operation of transporting goods across the seas. Imagine this. You need to ship a parcel from Kuwait to China. Who will you reach out to? The Al Falage, of course. This crew owns the Kuwait Gulf Link Transport Company, akin to the FedEx of the Middle East, only amplified. We're not dealing with mere parcels here. We're talking enormous cargo vessels, vast storage facilities, and a logistical framework that will leave you awestruck. You could assume they emerged in an instant, but that's not the case. These folks have been hustling since the 1950s. They kicked things off with a handful of trucks, likely akin to those you'd find on any bustling street, but they didn't remain stagnant. They expanded, they strived for more, and now they're transporting goods globally. From Kuwait to China, Europe to Africa, if there's a shipment to be made, the Al Falage are aboard. But wait, it gets weirder. These folks aren't limited to maritime transport and freight. They're involved in countless ventures. Property development? Absolutely. Investment opportunities? You bet. It's as if they took their maritime earnings and thought, why not acquire a substantial piece of Kuwait while we're at it? And honestly, they could probably pull it off if they chose to. Let's take a moment to dive into the figures. The Al-Falaj family boasts a net worth reaching the billions. But here's the kicker. To them, that's mere pocket change. Just one cargo vessel can carry a price tag of hundreds of millions. So when you factor in their entire fleet along with their diverse enterprises, we're definitely talking about substantial wealth. However, the Al-Falajes aren't merely lounging around tallying their riches. These folks prioritize efficiency above all else. They constantly seek innovative methods to transport goods more swiftly, affordably, and effectively. It's as if they have a deep-seated disdain for any form of wasted time. From cutting-edge cargo vessels to advanced storage facilities, they embrace anything that enhances their shipping speed. And there's a crucial element to consider. They aren't merely enriching themselves. The Al-Falaj are linking Kuwait to global networks. Consider this. Whenever you purchase an item not produced in Kuwait, it's likely that the Al-Falaj played a role in its arrival. They operate as the unseen force behind international commerce, ensuring Kuwait has all it requires to thrive. 2. The Al-Saba clan, nobility of wealth. Now, let's delve into the Al-Saba family, as they operate on an entirely superior plane. We're not just referencing affluence here, it's aristocracy-level opulence we're dealing with. The Al-Sabas have held the reins in Kuwait since the 1700s, which is even predating the United States. Folks, as for their wealth, it's not solely tied to oil. Yes, they're involved in that black gold, but this clan knows what they're doing. They've diversified their investments, spanning sectors such as banking and real estate. It's as if they hold a slice of every opportunity in Kuwait. Yet, here's the astonishing twist. That entire fortune? It's merely their private reserve. They possess their own assets distinct from the nation's treasury. Imagine possessing two enormous piggy banks, with one dedicated solely to the family. This is family savings on a whole new level. The Al-Sabas aren't merely dabbling in Kuwait. They're making significant moves globally. These individuals are heavyweight contenders in the realms of international politics and economics. It's as if they're strategizing in chess while the rest are confined to checkers. Now, onto lifestyle. At this level of wealth and influence, living large isn't enough. You live supersized. We're referring to estates that make Buckingham Palace seem modest. And what about private jets? Certainly, these individuals likely have private planes for their private planes. Yet, it isn't solely about the glamour. The Al-Sabas focus on maintaining their power and influence. They're not merely lounging around, tallying their wealth. They're actively influencing Kuwait's trajectory while ensuring their legacy stays prominent. And here's a twist. Despite their immense fortune and influence, two families in Kuwait surpass them in wealth. It might sound unbelievable, but we're gearing up to uncover some astonishing riches in the next entries. The saga of the Al-Saba family resembles an epic saga, yet rather than slaying dragons, their conflicts unfold in corporate offices and on the international scene. For centuries, they've skillfully retained their hold on authority, constantly adjusting and transforming with the world's shifts. Talk about a serious legacy. Enter the Al-Kharafi family, titans across various industries. Let's dive into the Al-Kharafi group, as these players operate on an entirely different level. Think owning a slice of a nation is noteworthy? These individuals are involved in more than 25 nations, and that's merely the beginning. The Al-Kharafis are the brains driving the Mac Group, and trust me, this isn't your typical family enterprise. We're discussing a firm that functions like its own small economy. Construction? Absolutely. Banking? Of course. Food and chemicals? Those are covered as well. It's as if they surveyed various industries and said, sure, we'll conquer them all. However, the truth is, they didn't always occupy the top tier. In the 1950s, these individuals were merely securing minor deals, likely envisioning their rise to greatness. Now, if we jump to the present, they've transformed from regional contenders to rulers of the international arena. Their reach extends into over 25 nations, executing strategies that would leave many CEOs in awe. You might assume that's quite an achievement for a single family, wouldn't you? Incorrect. The Al-Kharafi surveyed their realm and concluded, what we truly desire is a share in one of the planet's leading telecom giants. Thus, they proceeded to acquire a stake in America Movable. It's akin to possessing a fragment of the internet. In terms of money, these individuals are utterly flush. We're looking at a net worth exceeding $100 billion. That's not merely wealthy. I could purchase a small nation wealthy. Yet for the Al-Kharafis, it's simply business as usual. What's their strategy? It's all about diversification. These individuals avoid concentrating their investments in a single area. Instead, they've diversified across a multitude of sectors and nations. It's as if they've created an inherent cushion for themselves. Is one market plummeting? No worries at all. They have plenty of alternatives to rely on. And it's not just mundane investments either. The Al-Kharafis are involved in some truly fascinating ventures. In cities like Dubai, they're erecting towering skyscrapers that reach the sky. They have vast agricultural lands throughout Egypt. In fact, they likely possess a share of the device you're using to view this content right now. But here's the twist. This immense wealth and influence isn't merely stashed away in a safe. The Al-Kharafis hold a significant position in the economic landscape of Kuwait. Every action they take, every agreement they finalize, sends ripples throughout the nation. They are generating employment, fostering development, and fundamentally influencing Kuwait's future trajectory.